Hey, welcome to the Geek Retreat podcast. My name is Steve. I'm your host, and I'm along here today with Mick.
Hi.
And Jason.
What up?
What up? All right. So, we're just three guys, three coworkers who love to hang out and talk about movies and games and other nerdy stuff because get made fun of it at work a lot.
We get made fun of it.
Yeah.
People make fun of it.
I think, is that the right way to say it? Like, people make fun of us because we're nerds at work. Right?
Yeah. Well, we start talking about D&D, and then you got somebody over here in the corner like, what?
What
are you playing?
What's a D&D?
What's D&D stand for? Yeah, so we play Dungeons and Dragons every couple weeks, and we go watch movies and all that other kind of stuff, and just want to share our opinions. So, speaking of movies, last night I saw Sonic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was okay. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that like the Reddit community is so powerful because they changed. Like, do you guys remember when all that happened? Like, they changed
Sonic
the look of it.
So garbage.
Yeah,
he did look pretty terrible.
Terrible, and it was actually a really good movie. It was really cool to see like Jim Carrey back in a.
Oh, dude! When I saw that trailer of Jim Carrey coming in there and playing, what's his name? What's the enemy's name? I don't know what his name is.
Anyway,
Dr.
Sputnik.
No, it's not Sputnik. It's Robotnik.
Oh no, yes, Dr. Robotnik. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They couldn't have picked anybody else. I guess you could have picked a fatter guy, but
it was.
Yeah,
it was totally
I was kind of bothered by that at first. I mean, I like Jim Carrey as much as the next man, but I was like, dude, that doesn't look anything like. I was kind of. They do that a lot in these movies. Like they try to portray something and they make it look absolutely nothing like where the source material came from.
Yeah, he may not have.
I.e.
looked the
Birds
character.
of Prey. I'm looking at you, Birds of Prey. Oh, sorry.
he may not have looked the part, but he totally played the part.
That reminds me, like,
it was awesome.
Did you ever see the Dragon Ball Z?
Which one?
They made a live action Dragon Ball Z, and it was nothing.
With the evolution,
like, American kids and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and then they had Piccolo look like a fucking, I don't know, a Rubbermaid doll. You know what I mean? It was horrible.
that was horrible.
Like,
that was very horrible. It reminded me of like the Power Rangers series.
Yeah, or what's it called? The Airbender. The last Airbender.
Yeah.
They use
I like that.
In there. It's like,
I like that though.
No, I love the series. I watched the whole thing.
No, but the movie, the live action movie,
it was cool. But I wanted to see an Aang, bro. You know,
a real
Aang,
right?
Not a Chris. I want to see an
Aang. All right. But see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what they don't make it exactly. They don't stay true to the characters, and it bothers me a lot.
Right. But yeah, back to what we were talking about Sonic.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else knew about what was going on in Reddit, but a whole bunch of people saw Sonic, and it didn't look like the original Sonic. It just looked like looked garbage, man.
Yeah,
if you look up online right now, you can find comparison pictures, and it was just not what it is. But it was cool. It shows you how the power that we have to be able to change these movies that we like to make them actually accurate to what they act like or how they look like or how the movie goes. It was cool that they actually stepped back and did that for us as fans. If
only they would have done it for cats.
Right.
Am I right, Jason?
Oh my God. Dude, you mentioned it. Okay, so can I just say that Cats was, I think it's Steven, I think I told you this already before.
Yeah.
I don't come across very many movies that I say I absolutely couldn't stand. But Cats, I absolutely could not stand. It just, I don't even know where to begin with that thing. I know we're not talking about Cats right now.
Yeah, no.
I just wanted to put that out there.
Fine. No, go for it. Yeah,
that was very atrocious.
When it comes to storytelling, I appreciate your view on movies, and so you telling me that it was just hot garbage was like, I don't need to see it now. Like, I don't need to go out and waste my money now. And
I mean, I don't know if you like musicals, maybe give it a shot. But it had no structure, story wise, character development wise. Anything that you go to a movie to see, it didn't have.
Yeah, I only like musicals if it's like Disney or Hugh Jackman's in it. That's the only way I'll watch a musical. His are good. Like I don't know.
Somebody gets a crush.
No, I mean
I know a little man crush going on here.
No homo or nothing. But I mean,
it's okay, bro. I'll still love
you. We're all accepting here. You can be whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. All inclusive.
Yeah, but it was good. It was going back to Sonic, like without any spoilers. They're setting up a lot. It's really cool. It was like there was a little. I don't ever remember. Okay, so they said that there was I don't remember the animated series. Do you guys ever remember watching like an animated?
No.
Series?
I remember the animated series, but I never watched it.
Yeah, my kids said they watched it on like Hulu or something, but it's definitely based off the video game. That's what they bring it back to, but I don't. They made a bigger backstory for it than what I remember from playing Sonic on Sega, and it's been easily 15 or 16 years since I've played Sonic on any platform. On Sega, it's been 20 years since I played it. So yeah, I don't remember I don't remember much of a like. It was just a fast paced. Platformer, but They put a really cool backstory to it, and again, like Jim Carrey killed it. He was so funny. There was like scenes that I was like crying laughing at. So
I'm so glad Jim Carrey's getting back in the mix.
Yeah,
I was sad that he kind of got.
Well, and
I don't know what was going on. I didn't watch the documentary and what was going on with him, but he was my favorite comedian back in the day,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Ace Ventura, you can't beat it. You can't beat it.
No,
when he's sitting there with the projector, he's sitting there, woo, on his nipple.
Yeah.
I hope silver away.
Yeah, those are great. I still use those. Like anytime I get hit in the leg, it's in the boat.
It's in the boat.
You know what I mean?
Bang, bang.
Yeah. There's so
and he
many.
flips the fucking car. That shit's hella funny.
Like a glove. Yeah, it's. I mean, that's just classic Jim Carrey, and he harkens back to it a little bit. It's a really good movie, and I don't know if you've seen. I guess a little cracking it open, getting ready.
Yeah, this is probably my
a little cracking it open.
This is probably my 10th one. I have family over today, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
no, you're good. You're good. No, but like it reminded me a lot of like I don't know if you saw the Woody Woodpecker movie.
No.
Anybody see that one? They made like a live action Woody Woodpecker.
I've never seen it, but I actually saw clips of it.
Yeah,
when it was coming out.
It's totally a B-rated film. Like it's not a great film, but like it had a cute story, and like my kids like it, and it's something I could watch again. Like I could stand and sit it. This was like the better version of the Woody Woodpecker story. So it was.
That's good. It sounds promising,
good. Yeah,
man.
There was nothing I walked away saying like, oh God, that was like terrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was fun. There was one thing though, and I want to wait until it gets out a little bit more, but there's one thing that I was really frustrated they didn't do. But it's a very subtle thing, and I don't think it would be a spoiler.
For Sonic?
For Sonic, yeah. There was one thing that I was like waiting for, and it never happened.
Just say it. Don't.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right,
cover your ears.
I was going to say not to say it, but yeah.
No. Okay, so I'm going to.
I'm probably not going to go see.
Okay. Spoiler alert coming.
Yeah. Spoiler alert coming. Fast forward like a minute if you don't want to hear it. So you know how how when Sonic in the video game he would when you do the power up you would hold B and he would and it would power up.
He'd let go and then boom.
Yeah.
Take off.
He does that. He goes into the ball. But he never does the sound. I was like waiting for the sound. I wanted to hear that classic noise, and it never came. And I get that they were trying to do like a more real life version of it, but I thought that would have been such a cool callback.
That would have been a good.
They set the moment up. They set the moment up perfectly. Like you're like, oh my gosh, it's gonna you're expecting it, and it just kind of meh. And the moment's good. like the follow through from that moment is good, but you're just like, oh dang it, that would have been really good. Like I was like,
right.
Shucks.
But
so,
it gave you a little bit of nostalgia there, right?
Yeah.
It takes geeks like you and I, and maybe Jason,
yeah,
to realize those
to like
little,
notice that,
right? To know notice those little things. And
yeah,
those things
like
in,
my kids had no idea. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh,
yeah.
cool, yeah, that was a good movie. So okay, so now we're done with spoiler.
I don't think that was a spoiler.
Well, that wasn't a spoiler,
okay,
Steven.
All right, so if you wanted to hear what I said, go ahead and click back and re-listen to it.
Too late. They're already skipped forward.
You're already in this moment. You've lost time. And
we lost views now.
Yeah,
damn it.
It's okay.
Oh, no.
It's okay. Good thing they're listening to us, not viewing us.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so I also saw like new movies. I saw the new Jumanji, and that was good. But I also, in the same thing, had my worst movie experience of my entire life. I've literally had two memorable movie experiences. Okay, the first one was really cool. I can't remember what movie I went to see. It was back in like the early 2000s, and during the film, the actual film roll burned up, and it, you know how like they like recreate it sometimes in movies where like film and like it blots up, like it burns up. And it rips.
And it actually did that for real?
It actually did that in real life. Like, we thought it was a part of the movie. And it was so cool because I was like, oh my gosh. So they comped our tickets and like they had to change the roll. And they were like, if you want to leave, you can get a rain check. But I was like, no, this is an awesome moment. Like, this may never happen again in my life. I want to like live out this moment.
I thought all that
pretty crazy.
Shit was digital. I didn't know they still do strips when they...
Well, I mean, I think now it's digital, but back in the day it wasn't digital.
Well, how far back in the day are we talking about?
Well, early 2000s. That's 20 years ago, 15 years ago. And
that's
so
crazy, man.
Yeah, so like you know, so it was like really cool, and like it was really awesome because the whole audience, everybody that stayed were like, "Oh man, what do you think is going to happen?" And like the whole audience got to talk about the movie. And like then they were like, okay, like the worker came out and was like, hey, we're gonna start the film back up, so please take your seat again. But it was really cool to have like
I'm sorry.
No, yeah,
I didn't mean to cut your train of thought off.
You're good.
I'm just sitting here thinking like, because Mick has a good point. It's like early 2000s, they still shot digitally.
Yeah.
So how would it be on a film reel?
Let me look it up. It was definitely like it.
Were they showing an old movie? Was it like a classic? One of those classic theaters?
No, it was at the theater. I think it was at Greenback.
That's a trip.
That is a trip. Huh.
I'm gonna look it up. Do. Yeah, give me a few minutes to look it up. But I mean, I know they shoot stuff in digital, but do they? I think they still film it on reels, right? Like they don't shoot using 35 millimeter film anymore.
Jason would know that.
But they
So that's the thing, yeah. So if you shoot it digitally, I mean that would be going backwards. So you wouldn't then take it from digital and put it onto a reel.
That's also true.
Because then you're just losing your quality. So you would have to actually shoot it on the 35 millimeter to get it on a reel.
Right.
So I don't know if.
Okay.
I mean, I guess if you have a director who's stuck in their ways, they might still have used it at that time. I don't know.
So here, this I looked up. This is from Quora.com. Do they still use traditional reels in movie theaters? And it says there are still theaters that use reels of film for projection, but they are becoming fewer and far between.
Wow.
So I mean, this is like, I don't know when this article came out, but yeah, they definitely still use film, or they did use film.
I
never would have thought.
Yeah,
me either.
Because I wasn't.
That would mean that they're still shooting it in that then, because you wouldn't go backwards. You wouldn't lose your quality to put it onto a reel again.
Right. I don't. I mean, yeah, I don't. Yeah, It was definitely. Well,
that's a very rare moment then.
Yeah,
you experienced there in the movie theater. That's kind of cool though.
That is.
Don't
sorry. Yeah, didn't
people
mean to take away from your moment, but I was just kind of curious about that.
In the theater, Steven?
What's that?
Don't you hate obnoxious people in the theater?
Oh yeah. Okay, so that leads me to my second memorable moment, which was the worst theater experience I've ever had. So we go see Jumanji, right? And it's like I got tickets from Christmas, and it was like, this is gonna be nice. I like the first Jumanji a lot, and I was like, I hope this one holds up. So we get in the theater, and it's pretty packed. It's me and my wife and my parents, and we're sitting next to this like family. I don't know, like, we're just sitting next to people, and this guy next to me, he's like right on the right of me, and before the movie pre-roll, he's on his phone, he's talking to his family. Everything seems fine. It seems all normal. Okay. Like the lights dim, he puts his phone down. Within like the title screen hasn't even come up yet. He is snoring as loud as he possibly can. It's the loudest snore ever. And I'm like, what the heck? I didn't know what to do. Like, I don't. Wow. So I learned something about myself, and it's that I hate confrontation.
So you didn't kick his seat or anything like that.
I did it. I was like, in my head, I'm like, do I say something? And most people are like, yes, you say something. You nudge him. But I'm like,
what'd your wife do?
She's like, she looked at me and she's like, is that guy snoring? And I'm like, yeah. Like, she's like, wake him up. And I'm like, no. And in my head, I'm thinking like, what if he's like suffering from like, what if he's narcoleptic or something like that? Yeah. I labeled him. So I'm like, or like, what if he's like a cancer patient and he's wanting to get out with his family and he's just so tired from the chemotherapy. You know what I mean? So I'm just like,
dude,
I can't be that guy. I didn't want to be that guy. So I suffered the whole movie with this guy.
Did he snore the whole movie?
He snored. There was a few times like he kind of woke up to like check his phone real fast and then like instantly just passed out again. And so like, I don't know, would you guys have said something? Would you have said something?
Dude, I feel like, okay, so this always happens to me. My wife always tells this best story. Don't know if I'm going to be able to tell it right, but anyways, I don't like confrontation. I hate confrontation. I don't really like doing all that. But I do get irritated sometimes, and I just have to speak sometimes. So in that situation, I probably would have said something, but he would have ended up being the guy that had insomnia or whatever.
Like, he would have. I just knew if I said something, he would have had a disease. Like that was in my implanted into my brain.
So let me tell you a story. Okay, I got two stories here, just for example.
All right,
I was one time I was in a Red Robin. Right, I went to take my wife out to the day, and we're going to go eat. When we first got together, we went to Red Robin. We got our food. We're sitting there eating, talking, and at the corner of my eye, I sit there and look, and I see a guy staring at me, like trying to challenge me. You know what I mean? And me, I'm a big guy. Most people don't try to challenge me or whatever, but when I do, I feel kind of uneasy. You know what I mean? So when I'm sitting there, I see this guy staring at me. I'm looking up, kind of. Just looking up and then looking at my food, looking up, looking at my food. And I look at my wife. I'm all like, this guy's just staring at me. Right? He's like, no, he's probably not staring at you. He's probably not staring at you. I'm like, so I look back up and he's like mugging me. And I'm like, this guy is mugging me, babe. So I look up and I start like trying to kind of half-ass mug him back, like to, he's challenging me. I feel like he's challenging me.
Right, so you're gonna challenge him back with another staring contest.
And I get so frustrated. I can't even eat my food. I'm sitting there, and my wife's, don't do it, looking at me. And I'm like, I look at him like, who the fuck are you looking at? Do we got a problem? And I'm telling everybody in that place, it went silent. Everybody looked at it. I was like, what the fuck you looking at? And then he kind of snaps out of the daze, right? And then he was like, "Oh, no, I wasn't looking at you." And then me, I'm frustrated because this guy. I feel like this guy's just challenging me. He comes up to our table about like 20 minutes later after I kind of like settled down. He's
like, you calm down and eat your burger.
This dude goes, "I'm so sorry, man. I just lost a dear friend, and I was sitting there looking at the wall, and I was just looking in the corner. I was like, oh my God, I felt so bad. But me being who I am, I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Well, you should have been looking over there, motherfucker. I didn't say that to him. But I was like,
they're in a different space.
And then I was like, okay, fuck. And me and my wife were thinking about buying this guy lunch. And if you're listening to this guy, I'm sorry for that. It happens to me all the time, dude.
That'd be amazing.
Dude, I'm not even playing this. It happens to me all the time. There's always something wrong with the situation. It happens. I was at Walmart the other fucking day, and we're walking down the aisle, right? And I just got off work. I'm hot. We're all work construction, right? So I'm fucking just want to go home, chill, drink a beer, and fucking watch TV or whatever. So I'm walking down these aisles trying to hurry up and get my stuff so I could go check out. Well, there's people taking their time, and everybody could understand this. You walk in Walmart, you're trying to get out of there. People are just taking their time, standing in the hallway, and you're like, move the fuck out of my way. Move out of my way. You know what I mean? That's how you feel. And I come up to this lady, and she's just standing there, and she looks at me, and I'm like, excuse me, right? And then all of a sudden, right on the right-hand side of me, this lady says, oh, that's my mom. She's blind. And I couldn't say. I felt so bad. I couldn't even say sorry. I walked around the other side, and I walk away, and I'm shaking my head, and my wife didn't even have to say anything. She was just looking at me. And as I'm walking away, the lady's all like, I'm always in the way.
Poor lady.
I felt so bad.
Jerk.
So
you gotta learn not dude, next time anything happens, just don't say anything.
I know, but I get so frustrated with people sometimes, and I hold it in all fucking day. And then when it happens, it just happens, and it always ends up, oh, I'm blind. Oh fuck, I'm gonna die in like 2 days or whatever.
Oh my
dude, God. That's crazy. I had the same like kind of situation in a Walmart, and it's always Walmart, right?
It's all. Don't go. That's the moral of the story. Don't go to Walmart.
Don't go to Walmart. Yeah. So okay. So here's two different scenarios here. I'm gonna tell you guys both these scenarios here. So here's the first time. So I'm in Walmart. I just go to get a few things. I just need to hand select few items, and I'm getting out of there. So they have the self checkout. So I self checkout is generally faster if you just got a few items. You just check yourself out and you move on. So I'm in the line for the self checkout, and I see these people who have one item, and they're trying to like inch their way. There's like 3 or 4 people in line. I'm probably like the third person, so it's like 2 people ahead of me. And so there's like these 2 like kind of younger kids, kind of maybe a little bit older than a teenager. I don't know, but and so they're kind of standing by like the front of the line, and they're like looking over into the self checkout, right? And I'm like, I know these mother freakers aren't trying to jump the line, and I jump to the first available one, right? So I'm waiting, and I'm looking to see if that's what they're gonna do. So sure enough, they squeeze by the first person, and I'm like, hey, there's a line, and they're still going. And I said, hey, and then nothing. I was like, hey, and I got louder, and everybody turned to look at me. But it turns out that they were looking for the rest of their party. They had went to go get a forgotten item, and they were just rejoining their family. And I'm like, oh, okay, my bad.
I'm sorry.
Didn't mean to get in your business. But so fast forward till today. So today I was just at Walmart again. Self-checkout also.
Oh, you didn't learn your lesson.
And if history taught us anything, I was like, let me be a little bit more selective this time in what I say and when I say it. So there's 2 older men this time, and they got a case of water, and they're doing the same thing. They're lingering by there, and I like, they're going to try to. And so I purposely walked a little bit closer to my person that's in front of me, because now I'm like the second person in line. And so I kind of stepped a little bit further to close that gap between me and them, so they can't try to inch in front of me, so that they're not getting in front of me.
Right.
And then so they're kind of like standing next to the first guy, the guy who's first in line. And then, so I was like, okay, they better not. But I'm like, let me hold my tongue first.
I'm watching them.
And then but then sure enough, they go right up to somebody who's already at a checkout. I was like, oh, okay, so they are with somebody else. But then I look at the reaction of the people who are there. And then they look at these people like, why the hell are you so close to me? And so it turned out they did cut in line, and they just randomly walked up to these random people and stood right next to them as they're putting their card information in, just so that they can take over that checkout. And so I was like, I wish I could have said something.
You had your
but it's too late now.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're already there. They're already in front of us now. And then I was hoping that the Walmart attendant was going to say something, because he ended up coming. He wasn't paying attention, of course, obviously. And nothing got said. But karma bit him in the butt, because then that machine went down and they took them forever to get their item checked out. So I was glad about that. But I was like, I didn't say anything, and I wanted to. But it just got to me, and it still bugs me right now that I didn't say anything when I want to. But I was happy that I got out of there before them still anyway. So.
Nice. Yeah, so karma helped you out a little bit.
A little bit. I got a little nod from karma, yeah.
Hey, some at Walmart, when you go to check out, they're always got that person that is telling you there's an open stall here, there's an open stall here, or whatever.
Yeah.
They get pretty fucking aggressive sometimes. Like, there's one right here. Now, get over there. I'm like,
but I wish more places would, like, I wish Target would be like that. You know how, like, you go, I don't.
Oh my God! Don't get me started.
Target. You go to Target and it's like, whatever. It's 8:00 in the evening. You go to Target to run and grab stuff. There are no check stands available. There's like 2 in the whole store, and everybody is in line. The lines go like, it's always the very back ones by the bathroom, and then it just like, there's lines like 50 people long, and there's like, we have what's going on here? We have a ton of and then you get in checkout lanes, and people have like 50 items in the self-checkout lane, and you're like, what is going on? Like,
my wife be trying to turn into that checkout lane with like hella shit, and I'm like, babe, don't. I'm not. And then she'll get like mad at me or whatever, and we'll go in there, and we're fucking carrying hella shit because I don't fit on the scale and shit.
Oh yeah, it's the same way at like we shop at Winco. Like, Winco is the same way, man.
I don't understand.
It's crazy.
Target. I don't understand the people that shop at Target. I understand there's a couple things that other stores don't have that are at Target, but people be paying $4 extra for shit all the time that you could get at Walmart or app.
I don't know. Target. I've lately found that it's like collect DVD movies.
Yeah.
And I found lately that the movies are a little cheaper at Target, especially when they first come out. Because Walmart used to do that a lot. Walmart used to come out with the DVD movies, and it's like automatically on sale. Like, if it was a new movie, it was on sale, and it's typically $4 or $5 off or whatever.
Right.
They haven't been doing that lately. And Target, I've noticed, has been, and I like them for that reason. I mean, I don't really go there for any other reason, but I've noticed that Target has their DVDs on sale more often.
I just like, I think something, I don't know. I like Target way more than Walmart. One, I feel like Walmart stuff is like,
oh my God,
like, I feel like it's like just a step above like dollar store quality stuff.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love that.
I'm sure. I just like, we get toys for like our kids from Walmart, and they just fall apart and they break. We get toys at Target and they don't. They're better. I don't know. Maybe they just, I don't know. The people, I can't stand the people at Walmart either. Like,
Me neither, apparently.
I don't want to be like, I don't know. That sounds so bad and so like snobby or whatever. But like, the people of Walmart website.
It's true. If you go to Walmart, you have to be in your pajamas or wearing like something small that doesn't fit you.
Like that. But then at Target, you got Karen who wants to talk to the manager, and
that's my people right there.
Yeah, okay. I can't do it. Anytime, like, hey, we need to grab something. There's a Walmart right here. Like, oh no, you run in. I'll tell my wife, like, I'm not going in there. You run in there. I can't.
Wait, Mick, who's your people? The people that want to speak to the manager?
No, people that just don't give a fuck. Walk around with like holy spandex and fucking fat hanging out. You know what I mean? That's my kind of thing. I walk around Walmart with my titties hanging out every once in a while. It's fun.
Damn right. That's what you're supposed to wear when you go to the Walmart.
You fit right in.
Them my people.
Exactly.
Except when blind ladies get in my fucking way.
An old blind lady. That poor lady.
Sorry if you're listening. She's listening.
Yeah,
I know she ain't watching this, but she's seeing this. She's hearing this.
She's like, I remember that guy. That guy was so mean to me.
Look, I am so sorry, lady. I am so sorry.
Oh, so yeah. No, so so apart from our bad movie experiences, Jumanji was really good. I liked it. It was I think it was, I don't know if it was just, it wasn't better. You know, no sequel is ever better.
The last movie
well, yeah, no, okay. I'll take that back. I take that back. But Reese, as of late, most sequels haven't been better than originals, and it was good. I would say it's just as good. They did a weird like twist with it that was kind of cool. I don't know. Is it spoiler territory?
Here we go again.
No, I'm not saying it. No. I just like, you know how there's a window. There's like a window of time where like, okay, Jumanji's been out since, what did it come out on Christmas?
I don't know when that came out.
I think it came out Christmas. So like we're talking almost 2 months now. It's the 15th today. Yeah. So like we're talking almost. So what's the window of like spoiler territory? When is it okay to start talking about spoilers? I know like.
Well, okay, so I don't think it's just, well, to me, this is my opinion. I didn't write the law on this, but I think the time doesn't start until after it's available, like on DVD or like Redbox.
Really?
Yeah, because if you think about it, like sometimes people don't.
It's your
especially
fucking
nowadays.
fault.
It's not.
It's your
people
fault.
aren't. It's well, because people aren't really like theater people anymore. Like they like to be at home. They like to Netflix. They like to watch things in their own home. You know. So
I mean, I get that, but there's some movies you cannot wait. Like
Avengers.
Yeah,
I think
like
the question.
Yeah, no, honestly, I get.
I think
I
the
give you that.
is when everybody's watching like Game of Thrones, like those series that are on TV. I think that could wait a little bit longer. But in the movie theater, if you don't go see it in the movie theater, I'm okay with you talking about it in front of my face. But if it's still in the movies, then I'm going to be mad.
I'm going to have to disagree with that, man.
Yeah, I think it depends. I think it depends on the movie. Like, how big of a blockbuster movie is it? If it's Avengers, you don't say a freaking thing. Oh my gosh, that brings up another story. Oh, we'll go into that in a minute. You don't say another thing. You don't say like another thing about
until the next movie comes out.
Until like you.
Yeah, but
it's
I feel like
6 to 8 months.
Because
Avengers was in the theaters for like 10 months, wasn't it? It was in super long.
Yeah, like 8 months, 9, something like that. Yeah, it was in there for a long time.
That's what I'm saying, anyways. If you didn't go see it in that 10-month time frame, it's your responsibility to cover your ears or walk away because I'm talking about it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I can see that like that movie.
I'm going to sit here and talk to Jason and about this movie right now because I can't hold it in. I need to tell somebody. But I understand if it just came out, you can't talk about it. I feel like that. Like, is that what you said, Jason? You said.
Well, I said when it comes out on DVD,
like
or
DVD, right? Once it gets out of the theater, once it gets out of the theater, it's free game. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. DVD release. So it released in theaters. Okay, so it released in theaters April 16th or April 26th of 2019. It came to DVD August 13th of 19. So what is that? 6 months? 5 months? April, May, June, July, August. So 4 months. That's 4 months.
I thought it was in there longer.
I thought it felt longer. But
all right.
Yeah, but I just feel like if you didn't go see it on like opening week, I'll give you 2 weeks. If you didn't see it in 2 weeks, it's going to get spoiled for you. But it shouldn't have to be spoiled for you.
It's your responsibility.
Yeah. So,
but it's different since we're content creators now. We got to be a little bit more. So if we're going to talk about a movie,
oh yeah, for sure,
and about this, we got to wait at least until the thing comes out of.
I think what we could do too, like we can hold it till like the end of the podcast. You know what I mean? And just say, hey, we're gonna have a spoiler-free discussion or spoiler discussion at the end of the podcast. So if you want to
stick
wait
around
until then, stick around after that, then we go into that. You know what I mean? Like,
Possibly.
Yeah. Or
Makes
just have a spoiler cast. Like have a whole podcast that's separate from our weekly release or bi-weekly release, and just talk specifically about that movie.
That works too.
So, all right. So, speaking of spoilers and everything, I got a story for you. We were talking about Avengers, and it brought it back to me.
Okay.
So, me and my wife and my.
To be fair, I am socially awkward sometimes.
Yes. Okay. So my wife is socially awkward sometimes. So we go and we go out to see the movie. It was like the opening weekend. I don't think it was opening night, but it was like the Friday, right? So
wait, I don't know if this matters, but which one is this? Is this Endgame?
Endgame,
or
right?
Okay.
Yeah. So it really matters. It's the end all be all of Avengers as we know it right now.
Yeah.
So we go out and we go to dinner after the movie. Okay, we go see the earlier showing. We go to dinner after the movie, and we're like buzzing from it, right? Tony died, and like I cried in it. Like in the movie when Captain America gets the hammer, I literally cried. I was like, dude, that was the greatest scene ever. I had chills. I got choked up. Everything the whole night. Yeah. Anyway, so we get to the movie. We get to dinner. We get to dinner, and our waiter has seen it. He actually like joked. He was like, we were kind of like hush hush talking about it, and I literally said, I was like, we cannot say anything. Like we can talk about it, but we can't say anything.
Everybody's gonna hate
And so we we're sitting there, and my wife says something, and the waiter comes over. He's like, "Oh, I haven't seen it yet." And he's like, no, I'm just kidding. We've seen it. So we're like, oh, okay. Like, we thought you had it. So my wife, we're in the middle of the conversation. She goes, yeah, and when Tony died, oh, my gosh, I couldn't believe it. And I was just like, oh. So the lady in the booth behind me literally whips her hand around. Will you shut up? We haven't seen it yet. And
oh, wow.
Good job, Steven.
Have you ever, you remember the Wanna Get Away, ads for Southwest?
Yeah.
Never in my life did I want to vanish more than in that second. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So we were like, we're so sorry. And she was like, yeah, great. I mean, whatever.
I
Sorry.
don't even watch it now.
Yeah, she's like, I didn't want to see it. We were going to go see it tomorrow. We have tickets for it.
People get upset
and I was just like,
about it,
oh
dude.
my gosh. And so, I had to have the, conversation with my wife. I can't believe you just did it. She's like, I'm so sorry. She was, so upset about it. Yeah, so you got to be careful with spoilers. It's really...
Wasn't there some kind of violent event that happened based on the fact that somebody spoiled something from Avengers? Did anybody hear about that?
No.
Did I make that up? No, I believe I heard that.
Did I have a dream?
I believe I heard that. I don't know if I can look it up when I'm looking. But I remember hearing something about something happened, and that was somebody who was talking about Avengers and was spoiling it, and someone got pissed off or something.
Oh,
no!
Avengers,
no one heard that?
Endgame fan apparently reportedly beaten up over spoilers.
Oh, did you just pull it up?
Yeah, I just found it.
Yeah. So yeah,
was it in Hong Kong? Was it in Hong Kong?
I don't remember where it was, but yeah, I just remember I didn't look into the story, but I just remember seeing a headline on it or seeing something.
Yeah, I'm not reading the article over. Oh, a man was out. Says, according to Asia One. I don't know if this is a reputable. It's from ScreenRant.com, so it might be reputable. A man was attacked outside of a theater in Causeway Bay, Hong Kong, after revealing spoilers to Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
The incident is said to have taken place at the entrance of the theater, but whatever. He loudly revealed the spoiler to people who were walking into the theater.
Oh, what a jerk!
Yeah, he did it on purpose. We had that happen to us. Me and my wife had that happen to us with. It wasn't Endgame. It was. What was the one before Endgame?
It was
Infinity War.
Infinity War. And he goes, little kid cries. He's like, I can't believe Spider-Man's gone. We're just like, what? Like, we're walking into the theater. Like, what? So, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. Hearing a spoiler will make you want to not see a movie.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
It could. It really could.
Did you guys ever play Skyrim?
No.
I mean, I've tried.
always wanted to.
I've tried.
But I just never got it.
Yeah. I like it. I've picked it up as recently, and
man, I thought you guys would be excited about the new Skyrim. It's taking forever to come out, but
what's it coming out on?
There's not a release date. They say it's supposed to come out either this year or next year, but I'm
excited. There's a couple games coming out that I'm excited of. Excited for.
What games?
Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, Cyberpunk. I kind of watched it. Watched a couple clips. It looks like it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I hope it doesn't turn out like the first Watch Dogs. I know probably people like Watch Dogs, but it kind of just got repetitive to me.
Yeah, Watch Dogs was a weird game. I feel like the first one got a lot of hate, and the second one did okay.
Right.
But Titanfall did the same thing. Titanfall, I guess I've never played Titanfall 2 because
I enjoyed
of how much
Titanfall.
I hated Titanfall 1, and it was I guess it's like a secret gem. So
Titanfall was kind of the same though, right? Like it kind of became repetitive and redundant. Like it was really cool at first, and then it's like
I think there was just a super lack of content in the first Titanfall. So it came out, there was no main campaign. Everybody wanted a campaign,
right.
And they kind of blended the campaign with the multiplayer. It was really weird. You had to keep playing multiplayer to finish the campaign maps. And there was a little cutscene at the beginning of every multiplayer map that was story related.
Right.
So it was different.
It was annoying.
Titanfall 2 was actually good. I played them both. I like Titanfall.
Yeah.
You could actually pick up Titanfall 2 on Amazon for only $10.
Yeah, it's super cheap now.
That's how I picked it up.
Yeah, it's crazy cheap.
Or GameStop, get a used copy.
Dude, with
if you
kids,
can find it.
With kids, I don't do hard copy games anymore.
Yeah, because they scratch.
I just can't. Yeah, I my kids are getting older now though, but they still they take. I rented, so I've Modern Warfare, the new Modern Warfare, and the only reason I have it is because I rented it from Redbox for a weekend and I forgot to take it back. So I just owned it now.
It's mine now.
It's mine now.
It's mine.
So I wanted to rent it just to see how it was, and I was like, oh man, this is actually pretty good. So but yeah, so Cyberpunk I'm excited for.
They got
the new Avengers. Speaking of Avengers, Marvel's Avengers is coming out.
That looks
and that looks really good.
I can't wait
you
to play
guys
that.
both think that looks really good?
What?
I'm gonna have to.
Okay, we have a disagreement here.
I think so. I think so. So
right now.
So hear me out real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, just because, and I think they kind of smooth things out a little bit better since what I'm getting ready to state. But when they first announced this, way long back when, and when did I first catch wind of it? I forget how, but I was able to see the very first little sneak peek of it.
Right.
And it's just the rendering just did not look crisp. It did not look smooth. It looked like it was PlayStation 2 or something. I don't know. It looked cheap and it just didn't look good. It was clearly a button masher. It looked like at the time.
This is the thing. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Okay. Well, that was basically it. I didn't get a very good first impression from it.
This is the thing. This is the thing with these movie to video game things. They always got low budgets for these games, but and I understand that. When you played Transformers. Remember Transformers? They could have done so good with that for a video game, but they came through, and the only thing it's hard to explain. It was garbage, dude.
It was garbage.
Enemies will block every attack, and then it was just garbage. With this thing, I know they're going to show us a whole bunch of cool clips and all this stuff. Like it's gonna be, but there's a piece and part of me that wants it to be good, but there's another part of me that's saying they're gonna make this not such a good game just because it is a movie to, you know what I mean?
I think I have a very good feeling that it's going to be a horrible game, and I don't want it to be, but I think it is. And also another thing I wanted to say about when I first was looking into it, and I think I saw another clip afterwards, like the voice acting just doesn't seem to match either. Like that doesn't seem on par either. That looks like they got some dudes off the street or something.
That's actually the thing that gives me hope, because they didn't actually have to pay the actors to come in and voice act for it. So it kind of gives me hope that they actually spent more money towards graphics and playable content. You know what I mean?
But I think what you should look at when by saying that is that should let you know that how little money they do have for it. So if they're not able to bring anybody in, that says that they're working on a minimum budget, which is probably why it looked the way it did at first.
Right.
And it's probably not going to, it's all going to be, like you mentioned before, it's all going to be cinematic driven. So if you're not into the story and watching these cinematics play out, I don't think the gameplay is going to be what keeps you around, honestly.
Right.
Yeah, but I think you got to look at you got to look at the developer. This is like Square Enix is the developer, and they've done like great games, like all the Final Fantasy games. They've produced all those.
But it's
you know
all
what I mean?
Cinematic.
So like, right? Yeah,
exactly.
You still get. You don't play. You play Final Fantasy for the story, not for the graphics. You know what I mean?
Wait, say that again.
You don't like Final Fantasy. You don't play it for the graphics. You play it for the story. It's not groundbreaking graphics. It's groundbreaking story.
I don't know about that.
At the time,
Final Fantasy's graphics are off the chain.
It's gotten that
now.
It's gotten that
but
way,
before when it was getting popular, it wasn't. But I get what you're saying.
It was still
yeah, but when it was popular, it was like on PlayStation 2, PlayStation.
Yeah,
1,
so the graphics weren't available then.
Right.
Yeah.
So now it's there. It's like, but I get what you're saying. Okay.
But I think something that everybody has to remember is that they're not creating this game based off of the movies. They're creating it based off of the comics, which is what the movies were based off in the first place.
Right.
So things are going to be a little different, and I feel like they might.
But why did the characters look like the movie counterparts?
Well, not quite. They look a little different.
Because
they kind of look like them.
Well, I know why they did that, because they want. Okay, when you're trying to sell something, they want to kind of make it look like what it is.
Yeah,
so because new kids, right? The only thing that they know is not the comics. They see them on the movies all the time. So if you make them kind of look like that, it's a selling point. If you kind of make them look like the actor, then they're going to want to play the game, I guess. But I see how it is for like a selling point to make them look like the actors. But I was pissed off about the movie, the movies, because it didn't. I understand it's Hollywood; they had to change it up, but it did not go with anything that the comics had to say about the whole thing. Silver Surfer was in it. I understand Fox owns rights to Silver Surfer, so he wasn't in there. But and then I don't know, man. It just kind of irritated me, especially what was it? The one with Thor and Hulk. It was
Ragnarok.
Right. It was Ragnarok and
Planet
Hulk put together.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. They took two comics and smashed them together to make it.
Yeah, because Universal has Hulk rights, so they can't make a movie.
And also, I didn't like how the fact that they brought Smart Hulk into this thing.
I'm not against them doing it. It's just the way that they did it. Just kind of thrust upon you, like there was no lead up to it.
Yeah, it was just like it was more like it wasn't Smart Hulk. It was like depressed Hulk turned Smart Hulk.
Right.
That's what it felt like. I wanted to see Hulk beat the living crap out of Thanos, but it just didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
He had no part in it really. I mean, he was the brains behind a lot of it, but which is great.
Right.
But I was just like.
Now, get me. I don't know the comics to T, but I know.
Yeah, I don't either.
A bit about it, but it just kind of irritates me with the movies in Hollywood and how they change things to make, to get their sales or whatever. It kind of drifted off. It's just like it's somebody, they make a book like what's those vampire movies they made like a couple years ago, like
What
Twilight or whatever.
Twilight,
and everybody gets all pissed off because it didn't go by the book. The book's better. The book's better. Same thing with the comics. It's like they had to make it different for the.
I don't know. That's the way I felt with Ready Player One. The movie was like terrible compared to the books. The books was so much better. Yeah. Oh yeah. They like changed stuff around. I mean, the scenes were cool.
So you did not enjoy Ready Player One?
The book is amazing. It's like my favorite book, but the movie I can like, meh. All right.
Wow.
Yeah. Have you read the book?
I have not read the book, but the movie was awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Go read the book, and your decision, your mindset will change. I guarantee you. You. Yeah. It's like they changed the keys. Like, okay, hold on. All right. Let me just the first key. Okay. Everybody's seen Ready Player One. The first key. How did he find the first key? Right. In the movie,
He drove backwards.
He drove backwards. You're telling me that in 5 years nobody ever decided to drive backwards at full speed?
I mean, it's kind of. I mean, it's kind of believable. I mean, who would think to drive backwards?
What are you?
Like,
serious?
you're trying to get there as fast as you can. So
I know, but
driving backwards is not quite the way to be that fast.
You've never put in like Need for Speed and driven backwards within the first 10 minutes of the game.
Well, that's only because I'm like doing donuts and doing stupid stuff. I'm not trying to accomplish a mission that way.
I know, but yeah, I think it. I don't think it was believable. For one,
on GTA, I do it all the time when I'm running away from the cops and I'm trying to just feel badass. I flip around and drive backwards and I shoot. Flip around and go forward.
Because the whole thing was like you had to have enough money to pay. Remember, he was like collecting coins, like as he was like skidding sideways, he was like collecting coins,
right?
Because he was like super broke and he had to have money for gas. But like you're telling me some rich dude was just like never like I'm just gonna floor it backwards and see what happens. That's so unbelievable. Like that's so unbelievable for me.
I think you're nitpicking, man.
Yeah, it's a VR game.
No. I want to hear what the audience has to say because I think that there's. I mean, maybe I'm being like petty and nitpicking.
I get it because you're a fan of the book, just like I'm a fan.
But that's the thing.
A lot of the comics that Marvel has, you know what I mean, and when it gets transformed into a movie, Hollywood kind of flips it around to fit their own agenda. Yeah, it's irritating, but I enjoy when I watch that movie. I enjoyed it, and even when I watched the Marvel series, I enjoyed it. It just kind of there's things in there that irritate the fuck out of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
like example, like Planet Hulk and Ragnarok. Planet Hulk was he was the emperor. He ran that planet after he won the gladiatorial games. He was talking and all that, but he was the king of that place. And they made this other guy. What's his name? The guy off of Independence Day was the runner of that world. It was like this is kind of. I'm a Hulk fan, so it kind of irritated me.
Wait, Jeff Goldblum?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he in Independence Day?
What? The first Independence Day with Will Smith.
Jeff Goldblum is in Independence Day?
Yes,
sir.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
He's the super smart guy, and he rides with. Guides Will Smith through the mothership. Remember? Oh my God!
No.
Look it up, Steven. Look it up.
What are you talking about?
No, wait. He was in Jurassic Park.
He was in Jurassic Park.
He was in Jurassic Park, but he was in Independence Day.
Randy Quaid was Independence Day.
Oh my
God.
No, but he's definitely in Independence Day.
Thank you, Jason.
Is he really?
Yes, look it up right now, please.
All right, I'm looking it up.
The original Independence Day. Oh, I love that movie
too,
man.
Oh, crap. No, he's in the second one. Is he in the first one? I could be wrong.
He's in the first one and the second one.
I'm totally wrong.
Will Smith isn't in the second one.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He played David Levinson.
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 Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
I cannot do that, David. Sorry. Anybody get that reference? Okay. But no, okay. So I want to ask you guys this question, right?
Okay.
So you guys are pissed off because the movies aren't verbatim giving you your stories that you know, or maybe not verbatim, but it's not close enough.
I'm not pissed off. I get irritated at points, but I understand why they do it. But go ahead.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is there understanding to the point that if they give you the same exact story that you know, then there's no lead up. There's nothing that's going to surprise you. You know what's going to be coming. So they got to
Right.
alter it just a little bit to give you some kind of entertainment factor, right? So there's some unknown.
No. I like to see it. I like to see it. I want to see what I read and the things that I researched. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That,
I
like
know,
Harry
and
Potter, people were.
I'm with you to a point, but it's like at some point I'm like, okay, I don't want to know everything that's going to happen. I want my story, but I just want. And give me like the key points. Keep the key points the same, like the major parts of the story. Those need to be the same. But if you change how it got there, maybe I don't.
It wasn't the key. It wasn't the key point. Planet Hulk was one of my favorite shits, dude, and they fucking ruined it with Thor.
Right.
But okay,
so here's
favorite. But for me, Thor Ragnarok is my favorite Marvel movie because it was. Yeah. I didn't read the comics. I didn't know anything about the comics when I got into like Marvel and stuff. I knew who they were, but I didn't read on the comics or anything. Thor Ragnarok was my favorite movie. I'll watch that any time of the day. If that's on like just on playing, I'll sit down and I'll watch it for sure.
I'm not trying to hate on the movie because I enjoyed the movie. I'll sit there and watch it over and over again. But when I look at it, there's a slight irritation in the back of my head that I just want to smack.
Yeah.
Like, you want to smash?
Why did you do this? Why did you just make two separate movies? So I understand. I actually saw something. I read something about it. Is because Fox again owns the rights to Hulk from the first movie or something.
Universal
like that.
Does,
or Universal or something.
Yeah.
Well, they own the rights for it, so they couldn't actually make a Marvel. Disney couldn't make an independent movie.
Yes.
But they could use the character because he's part of the Avengers or some shit like that. I don't know the logistics of it.
Yeah, they can use the likeness of the characters, but any movie, the distribution and the money has to go, or a big portion of the money would have to go to Universal. So that it wouldn't be financially beneficial for Marvel to make a Hulk movie.
Right.
Yeah. Did it like my thing too is like with like Ready Player One, right? The first key was discovered in such a clever way. Like in the book, it's so cool when he like puts it all together, and you're just like, oh my gosh, that's awesome, right? And it would take me too long to go into it, but basically, like the first clue has to do with learning, and he lives on a planet, and he realizes the Latin term to learn is like the first key's on this like planet where all these schools are on, not where everybody knows about it. So like he discovers it like on accident by himself. It's just such a cool way of discovering it. And then like in the movie, Artemis is the one who goes into the detention with she goes to IOI, and she goes into the determinant program and all that stuff. That was all Parzival in the book. And then like, you know how like I was okay with their relationship because like their relationship in the book is spread out over like 5 years. And so obviously you can't do that in a movie.
Right.
Like the keys, the time frame of the movie, you had to shrink it down to where it happened in like 2 or 3 days. That's like the time frame of the movie. The book is like 10 years of like, he goes like 4 years or like a year and a half without discovering one of the keys. And it's just like, there's so much more in the book. And I get that. Like there was also like Ender's Game. You ever seen Ender's Game?
Was that the one with Will Smith's son in there? No, that wasn't.
No.
That was Ender's Game.
Was
that's with
Ender's
the 2
Game
kids,
was
though,
like,
right?
No, Ender's Game was the one. I guess so. It was a
with
brother
Delevingne,
and sister.
Cara Delevingne, and her brother or something like that. Not her real brother.
No, Harrison Ford was in it, and he's like this kid. They're on a planet, and they do like the simulation thing. All the kids have to train for like this military simulation. Orson Scott Card is the author of the book. Andrew Wiggin is the kid. Is that who you're talking about? Are you talking about the actors or the?
Yeah, I'm talking about the actors.
Okay, I don't know the name of the actors, but what names did you say?
Well, anyway, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. So
yeah,
what were you gonna say about it?
Asa Butterfield is the guy who played Ender. So anyway, the book is really cool because it like I think books are just great because they draw out the story to everything, you know, and like they give you tons of background and all this stuff, and the plot twist in the book is amazing, right? Of Ender's Game. I guess there's no real.
So the moral of the story is books ruin movies, is what you're saying.
No, movies.
You almost agreed to it.
No, movies disappoint in, books. They disappoint with your expectations of a book. But I guess like everybody's. Mick, do you have that lighter again? Good God, man! Put that thing down.
Sorry.
Yeah, my wife said, "Give it back." All right, so I guess Jason doesn't know about the lighter. So Mick, we came over for D&D, and Mick had a few too many beers, and he went out to have his.
I lost my lighter.
He lost his lighter, so he went out to have a cigarette, and he just pocketed my lighter. And it's not like a small. It's not like a small lighter. It's like one of those. It's like one of those long stem like lighters,
grill lighters,
like grill lighters.
Oh wow!
So the next day we were like, "Where's this lighter at?" And Mick was like, "I think I stole your lighter." He just hasn't given it back yet. Wow. So now he just rubs it in my face by burning the oil in it in the podcast.
Sorry.
So
I swear I can't. I have to clear my desk of everything.
You just stare at it. You need blank walls.
I'm sitting here. You remember in school? You remember in school when you sit there and mess with stuff on your desk, and you sit there and make like people with your hands, and you sit there and fight with your hands. Your middle finger is the head, and you're pointing with your ring finger on the hands, and you're sitting there fighting, and then your teachers are like, "Mick." I'm like, "Oh shit, my bad. I'm sorry. What are we doing again?" Popcorn Mick. And I'm like,
four. The answer is 4.
4. P.
We got to post that picture or that video on like our Twitter. 2 + 2 is P. Oh, that's funny. So yeah, no, I getting back to it though, I just think that books are way better. It's like they ruined Star Wars too, according like to the lore, and there's like they went totally off script with Star Wars.
Don't get me started on Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't even. That's a whole nother podcast worth the frustration and discussion. But it's like, they had hundreds of books.
And let me ask you something. Did you guys ever play RuneScape?
No, I never got into RuneScape. Oh my
God!
I was never a PC guy. I've always been a console guy.
Yeah, me too.
No, I've always been a console guy too, but RuneScape was the shit.
Well, it's like, and then I'm like, I hear about it. I hear about how big it is, and I go look at it, and I'm just like, what is this game?
It's
like,
cheesy. It's just cheesy.
It just reminds me of like a Flash game. You know what I mean?
It is a Flash game.
Oh, okay, then that's what it reminds me.
It is. It is a Flash game.
I mean, the last Flash games I used to play was on like E-Bombs World. You guys remember that?
E-Bombs World?
E-Bombs World? No.
You don't remember E-Bombs World? Anyway.
No, I've never played that either.
It's not a game. It's a website.
Oh, what's E-Bombs World?
It was like an old website I used to go on.
Do you ever play mini clips?
Yeah, or
everybody played mini clips.
Yeah, everybody played. And like, remember the arrow guy? Remember the arrows?
Yeah.
The 2 arrow guys?
Remember going on CartoonNetwork.com and playing all them games too?
No, I wasn't allowed to watch. Cartoon Network when I was a kid.
I just didn't have Cartoon Network.
That's why it took forever for me I still don't know a lot about Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff. Like, I've seen the new movies and everything. I like them,
You got some serious catching up to do, bro.
I got catching up to do.
Seriously, because
it's
Dragon Ball Z. I wish I could talk about Dragon Ball Z. Jason, did you watch Dragon Ball Z?
I did. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to say something else that's unpopular.
Oh my god!
Set me aside.
I already know what's coming, and I'm not even a Dragon Ball Z fan.
I stopped watching Dragon Ball Z. I couldn't take it anymore. Sometimes it takes them like 3 episodes to finish a fight. I'm like, come on.
Mika's left the call.
I'm still here, but I hate you now, Jason. I will never talk to you ever again. I will only respond to Esteban's comments.
Yeah, I'll have to be the liaison between you two.
You watch Sword Art Online?
What?
Jesus Christ! What are we doing here? Why are we even talking? You guys gotta get on your anime game heavy.
See, where do you watch your anime?
I watch it on
Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll. I watch it on.
Okay.
What's it called? Adult Swim got it on there. If you got cable, and you got Cartoon Network, you can watch.
See, I don't got cable. I don't have cable, and I don't want to.
You got Netflix though.
I know, but I don't want to pay for another subscription service
or Hulu.
that I have.
You got Hulu?
Yeah, I got Hulu. I got connections to Hulu. I don't have Hulu.
If you get, are you on your parents' shit? Are you on your parents' shit?
Well,
I
mean, yeah, it's the way to go.
Hulu. You can watch Naruto. Did you watch Naruto?
No.
Oh,
I just know
goodness.
I'm a coach. I'm the coach of my baseball team, and everybody runs like what's his name? Naruto.
They throw their hands back.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing?
Faster, bro.
No,
I promise. Yes, it does.
No, it does
when we come to work on Monday, on Tuesday, I'm not going to work on Monday. If you want to come and work on Monday, but
yeah, you come
Tuesday, I'll show you. I can run faster. We'll even time
All right,
it, bro.
if you run from the office to the trucks, I'll give you like $10 if you do it. That's the easiest $10 ever. Yeah.
Fuck yes.
But you got to do it when like everybody's watching.
I don't
care.
You
got to do it on the way in.
I
when everybody's walking.
I will run that. If you give me $20, I'll run that way all the time. Everywhere I go.
For like a week. Oh, that's awesome. We should do that. We should set that up.
That'd be hella funny.
Speaking of, so for anime, there's a One Punch Man game coming out.
One Punch Man.
Yeah, February 27th is the release date. That's the initial release date. Looks like it's on track to release.
It's cool. It's not my favorite thing. It caught a lot of attention lately, though.
Yeah,
everybody's talking about it. It's cool. It's not. It's all right. It's
all
not
right.
The best.
Yeah.
Naruto is my favorite though.
That's the go-to.
Go-to.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
you
should watch this one. It's called Sword Art Online. And basically it's these guys that get this gaming set, right? And it's a VR game. You buy this headset and you actually go into the world.
Oh, like Ready Player One.
Exactly. But when they get in there, right, they the creators of the game have like a big meeting where everybody goes and sees what the mission is or whatever. And then they say, basically, he says you can't exit the game, and if you die in this place, you die on the outside. So basically, on the outside, people are like starving and dying, and they got them all in hospital because they found out that this is what was happening.
Right.
So everybody that's in the game surviving, trying to get to this level of the game where they can exit.
Okay.
They're all in a hospital beds on feeding tubes because they're stuck in this game and they can't,
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's good.
Okay.
It's good. I hella enjoyed it. But there's other sequels to it.
Here's what we got to do. You got to give me some suggestions, and I will start doing my research. There's a problem. I try to do it with Dragon Ball Z, right?
Right.
The catalog for Dragon Ball Z is so big.
It is.
I don't even know where to start. It's so huge.
Start at Dragon Ball. Watch all Dragon Ball. Then watch Dragon Ball Z. Do not watch Dragon Ball GT because it's not even with the arc.
Okay.
Straight to Super. But start with Dragon Ball. It's when Goku's a little kid.
Yeah. Okay. So like I've watched like What to Know before watching whatever.
Right.
Before getting started. So like I've watched so I know kind of stuff that happens, but I don't know all the little ins and outs of it. And it's just that is such a time commitment. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm gonna buy all the. How about this? Because I'm gonna buy all the Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Shit and all the Dragon Ball Z. So as I'm buying the seasons.
Yeah, just let me. I'll borrow.
I finish watching it because my wife wanted to catch up on it. I'll give you the copy so you can catch up on it. But yeah,
for sure.
It's
I'll catch up on stuff.
Forever to watch all
I know. There's so much stuff I want to do, but I gotta catch up on this.
Yes,
but I'll start looking into Naruto.
Because we got to talk about Piccolo and we got to talk about Goku because it's one of my favorite things to talk about. Dog.
I know. Jason, you got to get on it too.
I will. Well, I'll step my anime game up.
Suffer through it. Yeah, I'm not. I haven't been big on anime ever. I was just big on like video games and movies. So
I was in anime for a while, but just the anime movies. I never really watched anime series too much.
My brother showed me an anime when I was like a kid, and it was the coolest thing ever. And I always wanted. I think it was a Final Fantasy anime. And there was like a fight in some like, it was like, I don't know if it was a church or like a cottage. It was like a rundown wood cottage. And there's like a sweet fight inside of it.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Was that Advent Children? No, wait.
Oh,
yeah, was that Advent Children?
That sounds right. Yeah. Let me look it up.
Yeah, I have that movie. That was awesome.
All right. Oh, snap. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome.
All right. Yeah. So like that was like, I want to get into this, but then it was just like, I don't know. Yeah, I never did. I never followed through on it.
My chair's so broken right now.
What?
Right before the show, I sat down and I was trying to reach over for something, and I fucking knocked the bolts off of it. So I'm sitting there trying to support myself.
Well, yeah.
So wait, so could I say just on the Advent Children really quick and on Final Fantasy in general? My favorite overall ever video game villain is Sephiroth. I mean, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, if that's how you pronounce it. But Sephiroth is my all-time favorite villain in a video game movie.
Is it Call of Duty?
And,
what game is it?
It's Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, and he has like this long, like 8-foot sword that he carries around.
Yeah, yeah.
And I went to an anime convention once, and they had one there.
Oh my god, I gotta go with you.
And dude, I got one. So I got an 8-foot Sephiroth sword.
What?
Right now. Yeah. That sometimes I lug around. Yeah, it's freaking awesome.
Can I play with it?
Hell yeah, you can,
dude. Hey, see, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. When we play D&D, you got to come and like have a sword and you dress up as him.
Yeah, I used to have the long black jacket like it.
Yeah.
Jason, next time you got to make it, bro.
Don't change the freaking dates on me, and then I can freaking make it.
Well, we won't make it.
We won't change the date. We have set the date, and it is in stone, and it's going to happen.
Wait, when's the date again? When's the date?
I'll tell you off podcast.
Oh, okay.
When we're done recording. So yeah, but we should. We've been going for a while now, so we should probably wrap up.
I just want to say that I just wanted to tell them, that we eventually want to do some live D&D, right, Steven?
Yeah, we would love to do something.
That's Dungeons and Dragons, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know it.
if you're listening to the Geek Retreat, I hope you know what D&D is.
Well, I mean, just in case.
All right, yeah. If you're just throwing it out there, yeah. D&D is Dungeons and Dragons. We play it. I'm the DM, and right now we're running through a module right now, the Tomb of Horror or the Tomb of Annihilation, which is funnily enough, since we've been talking about it all night, it is a spin-off or a kind of like a predecessor to the Tomb of Horrors, which has the Demi-Lich Acererak as the guy. The main big bad guy. And Acererak is the first boss that Parzival has to fight in Ready Player One in the book.
No joke. That's crazy.
That's what's so awesome about it.
Wow.
So many callbacks. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying. Like, nobody knows who Acererak is, but if you read the book, you'd have an idea of who he is.
Right.
He plays him in Joust, in the arcade Joust.
Oh, freaking Joust, dude.
Yeah, they play Joust together. It's so cool.
Wow.
So
I remember
Joust.
That was
soon
awesome
you'll be able to catch us on YouTube and catch us on
so I guess this is a good time to plug all of our social media. So we are the Geek Retreat. We are on Twitter at geek_retreat. And you can find us on YouTube at the Geek Retreat. If you just search that, you can pick us up. So, again, my name is Steve, and Mick. He's Mick. And Jason.
That's me.
That's Jason. And we three are the Geek Retreat. So thanks for listening. And we will be putting this podcast out sometime within the week. We're going to have more of a set schedule of release podcast dates as we go forward. But you can find us on Spotify. You can find us on iPodcasts. You can also find us on a couple other platforms, a little lesser known platforms, Breaker, Google Podcast, Radio Public. Just search The Geek Retreat in your favorite podcast platform, and you should be able to find us. So I just want to thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Orale.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Goodbye.